to write a basic summary. Every time you read, you should be writing down at least one new word that you found in your reading. You want to know exactly what it means and its definition. You should also be writing maybe 2 or 3 times a week a summary of what you've read. The summary should cover the pages you've read, not the whole book, not the beginning of the book to where you have reached now, but the pages that you have read that day or that week or since your last summary. Your summary should be a maximum of 3 sentences long, and it should not be a list of the things that happen in the book. Your summary should have 3 things in it. You should have you should have a character that you have chosen. It could be the main character, it could just be a character that you like or a character you dislike. You should have what the character desires or what the character wants, and you should also give the actions that the character takes to get what they want and the results of those actions. Those 3 things should be in your summary. Sentence 1 should contain the character and their desire. Sentences 2 and maybe 3, if needed, should be about their actions and the results of those actions. Let's look at an example. First, from the Wolves of Willoughby Chase, I found lots of words within the first chapter. I've written down 10 of them, but remember, you only need to write down 1 word a day. Not 10 all at once, because 10 words are a lot of words to look up in a dictionary. But I love words, so I've written down 10. If you love words, you might do the same thing too. Here we go. So here's the beginning of the book, and here are the words that I found here. Wold. What is a wold? And then here, gophering. What's gophering? And over here, we've got indignation. What exactly is the difference between being indignant and being annoyed? And there we've got Miss Slycarp and Bonnie. Let's look at my summary. Here it is. So here are my 3 sentences. Down here, I hope they're 3 sentences. There's 1 full stop, 2nd full stop, 3rd full stop. Oops, I've got 4 sentences. Forgive me. But you need a maximum really of 3 sentences. And then up here, I've got all of the words that I found in the text. Remember, you must write down 1 word a day. You don't need to write down 10 words a day. And you must write down its definition as well. Okay, so here's my summary. Miss Slycarp, there's the name of my character, a governess. Now, I happen to have told you a little bit about her, just in case you haven't started reading this book. So I've told you what she does as a job and what she did in the first part of the book. She has arrived at Willoughby Chase to work, but that's not what she desires. This 2nd sentence tells you what she desires. She wants to turn Bonnie. I've told you a little bit about Bonnie here because you won't know who she is if you haven't read the book. Her charge, which means the child that she looks after as a governess, into a well-behaved young lady. So I've covered the first 2 things on the list that you must have when writing a summary. The name of the character and what the character desires. I've added in some extra things because I've told you a little bit about the character I've chosen. I've given you her job, a governess. I've given you what she has just done in this first chapter. But that action that Miss Slycarp has just completed, arriving at Willoughby Chase, is not the action that she takes to get her desire. That action is just to tell you a little bit about her. And then I've told you what her desire is. Her desire is to turn Bonnie into a well-behaved young lady. Then I tell you about Miss Slycarp's actions. One of her first actions is to tell Bonnie's father that the girl threw a hairbrush, broke a window, and soaked her governess with water. And then my final sentence here tells you the result of Miss Slycarp's actions. So Miss Slycarp told Bonnie's father about Bonnie's behaviour, and then Bonnie's father only laughs and Miss Slycarp looks spitefully at Bonnie. So those are the 3 things plus some extras that you need to have in a basic summary. The name of the character. It could be the main character, it could be a character you like, it could be a character you dislike. So the name of the character first, then what the character desires, then what actions does the character take to get their desire, and you may have enough time or space to put in the results of your character's actions. Do they get what it is they wanted in the part of the book that you were reading? I've also added my definitions. Remember, you need to find at least one word, either that you have never seen before or a word that you have seen before, but you're not quite sure exactly what it means. So let's have an example of each. Crenellated. Now, you may never have seen the word crenellate or crenellated before. So that's a good word to pick. Crenellations are the gaps on castle walls through which arrows are fired. And I thought I'm going to draw a little picture of that because it might be hard for you to imagine what a crenellation looks like. But as soon as you see the picture, you think of a castle and you know what a crenellation is. So the crenellation is building the top wall or the top part of the castle so that it has gaps in between it has gaps running along the top of the wall, and then defenders would fire through those gaps, and then they would stand behind the other part of the wall. That would be where they would be safe from other people firing arrows at them. They would also pour boiling oil through those gaps down below to the people attacking them. So crenellated is an example of a word that you may never have seen before. And then I've got indignation as an example of a word that you may have seen before, but you may think, I'm not sure what this word, what is the special, unique meaning of this word that makes it different from angry or annoyed or irritated or frustrated. I know indignation is to do with anger, but what is special about indignation? Indignation is the feeling of anger, but also the feeling of shock that you get because you were treated unfairly. Now, that's really important to know. If you're writing a story or you are describing something that has happened, if somebody has been treated unfairly and they're angry because of it, then it's indignation. They are indignant. But if somebody is angry because they wanted something that they didn't get, they might be frustrated rather than indignant. All right, so there is an example of how to write a basic summary with some extras. There are extra bits that I've shown you in the summary itself. And of course, there are 9 extra words in the vocabulary. Good luck with yours.